So you're seeing multi-different revenue sources or modalities, whether it's with the service-based businesses or facility-based franchise concepts. So again, that idea of offering a whole bunch of different services continues to expand. So bottom line is that franchise is booming, and it was so much fun to see these 100 different franchise concepts share what they're looking for when we talk about 2026 in terms of the explosive growth. But we know these 6 categories will continue to grow and will thrive.
Welcome to the Hire Yourself Podcast, the show for senior level executives who are done renting their income and are ready to take control of their future.
My name is Gilfillan. I spent decades in the corporate America
Before hiring myself, becoming an entrepreneur, best-selling author, and a franchise consultant. Now I help others stop relying on one paycheck, one job, and one boardroom decision. If you're ready to take control of your destiny, to build wealth, and to live life on your own terms, then you're in the right place.
Welcome to the Hire Yourself Podcast. My name is Pete Gilfillan, and today's episode of Hire Yourself is coming directly from the field. You see, I am a franchise consultant, and twice a year I get to go to a franchise conference where hundreds of franchise companies come in and they share their plans of what's going to happen over the next year. And it's a very exciting time. It's my opportunity to really get a good feel for what's hot, what's trending in franchising. So today's episode, we're going to talk about, again, the categories, the hot areas where we see franchising continue to boom. And so the way you can kind of look at it is there's really 6 great takeaways or what's hot in franchising. And we'll start with the first one, and that's health and wellness. And health and wellness is still on fire. It's still expanding. So when we think about health and wellness, this is one where it's got strong momentum because people want to live healthier lives. And so when we think about health and wellness, that might be boutique fitness. That might be functional training or fractional training from a standpoint. It may be stretching. It may be fascia release. It could be weight loss with GLP-1s. It could be many different things from that standpoint. It could be recovery and wellness centers. So think of a place where I can get red light therapy. I can do a cold plunge. I can do IV therapy. I can do infrared saunas. That would be an example of where people are really kind of trending towards in terms of health and wellness. So it's a space, and you see articles in Forbes and Business Insider. They're talking about how people are spending money to take care of themselves, to improve their health. And this is a hot area. But, when we also talk about that wellness, it is also about people trying to work on other things. And so instead of kind of the traditional fitness club and their traditional doctor's office, people are going to places where they can improve their health. They can essentially work on different modalities. And so I think a little bit about one franchise concept that was announced at our conference, and it was the Ultimate Longevity Center, where they do a combination of things to help people improve their wellness. So this isn't a place where you work out. This isn't a doctor's office, but rather it's a place where you can go get tested, your blood tested to see what markers, where you're deficient in other areas, things like that. You can get IV treatments, but then they also have modalities to help improve your wellness. So think of hyperbaric chambers, think of massages, things like that. So this is another big category kind of in that health and wellness space, but it's personalized. It's of community from a standpoint. So that's a second big area that I noticed. The third one is beauty and personal care. And that's one where no matter what happens, that's going to continue to boom, right? Whether we have a recession, we have a pandemic, people are going to spend money on making sure that they feel good and look good. So areas that are hot in the space are salon suites. And the salon suites aren't a place where you're owning a salon, but rather you have a place where artisans like hairstylists can rent a space from you. So that's really hot from the standpoint of franchising. You can also think about hair care, and I don't know anything about hair care being bald, but hair care is one that's an industry that it will always be there. And we're seeing that kind of morph where you've got the high-end salons, you've got kind of the mom and pops, but now you're seeing places that do kind of hybrids when it comes to hair care. So, for example, the stylist can rent a chair. They can, for lack of better terms, be commission-based. So you're seeing hybrid salons, which is really kind of cool. And I don't know about this next area in kind of that beauty, but hair extensions. I never realized how many women utilize hair extensions. It's pretty amazing. It's a booming industry. So we're seeing more and more pop up in that space. And then we're thinking about medspas. So think of places where you can get facials, you can get skin treatments, you can get all kinds of different things that help you feel a little bit better from that standpoint. So you read articles in Forbes and Allure, they're all talking about this idea that people want to look better and they're going to spend money doing it. The fourth one, and this one I love, is that, you know what? Pets are the new kids. The pet industry is booming. In fact, there are more dogs out there than there are kids under the age of 18, and people are willing to spend money on their pets. This is a hot industry. It's going to continue to grow. People will spend money on like training. They'll do mobile grooming. They will do daycare, boarding. They can do retail supplies like dog food and all that kind of stuff. So bottom line is you're seeing huge growth in this area. It's all over there. And this is very much like kids. They're going to spend whatever it takes. And we've got an example. We've got a golden retriever, and this dog goes to daycare. He goes to a place to get groomed from that standpoint. He has a place, a resort where he goes. If we go out of town, we have dog walkers. We spend a lot of money on our dogs. It's just like having another kid. And so that is a booming industry. When we also talk about booming industries, one of the big takeaways is that the space around helping or home services where I need something done at my house. And this continues to be a growing industry, and it's not anything new, right? There's always been HVAC companies, there's plumbing companies, there's painting companies, all kind of stuff. But what's interesting is this in this space that you're seeing the industries or the different kind of modalities contract together. So, for example, a franchise may be a painting franchise, but they may also do drywall repair, and they may do cabinet refinishing, and they may do those epoxy garage floors, and they may do power washing. They may do Christmas lights. So you see multiple different service-based franchises, we'll call them B2C, that incorporate multiple different revenue sources, which is good for the business owner. It's good for the homeowner because the homeowner doesn't have to call 5 different people. The one franchise can handle all the different things. So we're seeing an expanding growth of more franchise concepts incorporating multiple modalities or revenue sources to be kind of that one-stop shop or own a bigger percentage of, we used to call it the utility room. Another booming area is that its multi-services are really kind of winning from that standpoint. And what I mean by that is that it's not just the home going B2C, but it can also be when I go into a wellness concept, and we talked a little bit earlier about the Ultimate Longevity Center. That would be an example of stacking different things or different modalities on it. Or it could be something where I can go get peptides, I can go get hormone therapy. So you're seeing multi-different revenue sources or modalities, whether it's with the service-based businesses or facility-based franchise concepts. So again, that idea of offering a whole bunch of different services continues to expand. So bottom line is that franchise is booming, and it was so much fun to see these 100 different franchise concepts share what they're looking for when we talk about 2026 in terms of the explosive growth. But we know these 6 categories will continue to grow and will thrive. You know, if you're interested in taking control of your destiny, building wealth, or living life in your terms, I always encourage you to take 15 minutes, have a conversation with me. I can learn a little bit about your situation, and I can tell you a little bit about kind of what I do as a franchise consultant. I always encourage you to subscribe and follow. Great content here for you.